Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make two really easy and super cute pumpkin themed fall decorations. Alright y'all, now what do I have? I have one of these foam pumpkins from Dollar Tree. Let's take this tag off. We're going to take this off because we don't need it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this lovely knife. And we're just going to cut the top of this off, okay? So right about there. Listen, ASMR. Ooh, Lord. Anyway, cut the top of it. Oh, jeez. I'll have to put on some headphones or something. This is going to kill me, but I'm going to cut the top off. Just plain old white acrylic paint, and we are just going, ooh, we're going to make a mess. That's what we're going to do. We're going to paint this whole entire pumpkin white. We're going to take 2 coats, probably. Anyway, paint it, let it dry, paint it again. All right, so moving on, our pumpkin is painted white. Why did we paint it white if we're just going to cover it with napkins? Because this is going to give you a nice background. Or if you just left the pumpkin orange and then tried to decoupage on the napkin, then the orange would show through and it wouldn't look very nice, now would it? Now, if you want to learn how to decoupage, I have a link down in the description box to my bestie's channel. She does excellent work with that type of thing. I'm okay. She's really good, all right? So if you want to see more in depth on that, then go over there, please. But anyway, we're just going to open up this napkin. And these came from Hobby Lobby. Let me see. What we need to do, friends, is we need to separate this. And it can be just a little aggravating. Just kind of pinch the end of it there. All right, so we're getting this pulled apart. And it was a little bit difficult because it was embossed kind of like on all sides. But I just kind of cut one of the sides off with some scissors, and that made it a lot easier to separate. So we'll go ahead and separate this. And then you can tear this into pieces if you want. Let's just take a look here and see. Just turn it short ways like that. And I think what's going to be easier for me is if we cut this into strips. My friend V's probably like, don't cut it like that. But this is what I'm doing. V, don't come after me. Please don't. Now we're going to take our Mod Podge, and it doesn't matter if it's glossy, matte, or whatever. I'm just using a sponge applicator because I think that's the best for me as opposed to a brush. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm just going to paint some more around. You don't want it to be too thick because then your napkin will ripple and do weird things. Let's see. So here's the end right here. And I'm just going to tap that down and then work my way around. Just keep tap, tap, tappy. Like that. And it's okay if it's wrinkled just a little bit going towards the bottom. It's also a little bit wrinkled at the top, and that's going to be perfectly okay because we're going to be putting flowers in here, okay? And you're not going to be able to really see the wrinkled part. I'm just worried about it down here. So I'm just going to keep working my way like down in the little creases of the pumpkin just to get it all stuck down because this is textured. You see like the creases here, and that does make it just a little bit more difficult. Just going to tap it down in the creases there all the way around. All right, so the Mod Podge has dried. And once it did dry, I went ahead and I put a coating on the outside of it just to make it shiny and to hold everything down and make sure that the edges, I sound like Ric Flair, to sound like the edges of the napkins won't lift up. So now I have a piece of floral foam here, and we're just going to cut this to try to fit it down inside there. Whee! All right, let's see if this will fit down in there. Why are you not going inside the pumpkin? There we go. There we go. You know what? Should I have glued that down? You know what? I think I should have. Hold on. Okay, that was hot. Hey, hot glue guns are hot. Who knew? I'm just going to pump some down in there and then hold that foam. There we go. Hold that foam in place until that sets up. All right, push that out of the way. So now the flowers that we're going to be using, I got these at Dollar Tree, which is why I picked the blue napkin for the pumpkin to go with these blue flowers. So I'm going to get my wire cutters and going to cut these all apart. All right, so I have all of these cut apart. So now let me decide which side I want to use for the front. I think this looks the best for the front. All right, This is all we're going to do now is stick them down in there. So easy. I don't have to sit here and show y'all how to do this on... Why are you doing this? I don't know. And show y'all how to do this on camera. So super easy. Just cram all those in there. Okay, so here is what we have. You've already seen it at the beginning of the video. Stick around and you're going to see it again. But anyway, there it is. I might add some more in. I don't know. But as of right now, that's what we have. Okay, moving on. All right, so next we have a jumbo pool noodle. This is from Dollar Tree. And I got a handy dandy, whoa, I got a handy dandy knife over here. And now we're just going to, I don't know. Right there, it looks good. You can use the regular pool noodles if you want to. This just happens to be what I got in my store. Okay, so now it looks like this. So now we could take our knife and I'm just going to kind of just trim off this harsh curve. The curve. Ha! Corner this thingy right here. Cut it off. Okie dokie. All the way around. We're going to do that on both ends. Okay, so now we've got it done on both ends. Now, this does not have to be perfect, okay, because we're getting ready to cover this with some yarn, all right? Now, the yarn that I'm going to be using is from Yarn Bee. Now, this, in real life, this looks more orange than yellow. So butterscotch medallion, that is the color. And I got this at Hobby Lobby, but you know what? Any kind of yarn that you want to use is fine. You don't have to use this kind. You don't have to use this color. I got a bunch of different colors of yarn. Anyway, what we're going to be doing now is just taking this yarn and we're going to be running it down through the center here, pulling it out and then wrapping it around and around. So let me get something that's going to make this a little bit easier. So this is a piece of floral wire, okay? And I just folded it in half. And what I'm doing is basically making like a big long needle. Like I said, it's just going to make this a little bit easier, okay? Now let's just pinch that like so. And then I'm going to fold it down again. Okay, that'll help. Like I said, we're just going to use this sort of like as a big yarn needle. Let me see where we need to cut this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this part and I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue right here. Now be careful because this hot glue will melt your pool noodle. So if you have a low temp glue gun, I would suggest to use that. I believe that glue has set up. So now what we're going to do with our little, you know what, let's twist this a few times to make it sturdier. And then we're just going to take our little makeshift needle here and just run it through. And we're going to do this all the way around. We're basically just wrapping our piece of noodle with the yarn, okay? And bring it down. Take our little makeshift needle, ram it through there. And then we're going to pull it like that. Uh-oh, I'm stuck on something. Hold on. Sorry about that. I got stuck on something over here on the floor. I've got so many craft supplies sitting over here. But anyway, this is all that you're doing. You're just pulling your yarn through and just wrapping it like that, okay? Okay, so this has been wrapped. And now I'm going to take one of these little pieces of wood. This is from Walmart. Just a bag of wooden pieces here. And this one will be okay. Can't like really press it down in there, but you know what? I'm just gonna put, and I hope that this hot glue gun is hot enough. Maybe kind of, sort of. I don't know. Might be good enough for the video. Anyway, we're just gonna put like a whole lot of hot glue right there, and then we're gonna glue down this piece of wood. Okay, we'll hold that in place. All right. So now I have it. This is almost like lamb's ear. Is this lamb's ear? Well, actually, it's labeled as lamb's ear. I was going to say this looks like real lamb's ear. And I'm going to use this lamb's ear because it's soft and fuzzy, and that's going to reflect the soft and fuzzy yarn that we have on our pumpkin. So now we're just going to cut some of these off and glue those to the top. Boink! Okie dokie. Well, I glue some more on here in a minute. We don't know. Which one did I want? Okay, right here. I'm going to say, am I going to glue some more on here a little bit? I have no clue. And I have some of this floral moss. This came from Dollar Tree. I thought I had like some regular, you know, like the dried looking Spanish moss. But you know what? I have some of this, and this is sort of more like reindeer moss. Oh, Lordy, this stuff is dry. Would y'all look at that? I know you're like, well, pumpkins don't have moss on top of them. Well, they aren't made out of yarn either. But here we are. I'm just trying to get a little something. I need another glue stick. Where are they? I need more glue sticks. All right. Let's put this on her. Okay. Just stick that around. I'm going to go all the way around with this. All right, I'm almost done with this. But anyway, like I was saying, this stuff is really, really dry. I think I've had this bag for quite a while. And I've shown this in another video, but like if you use this stuff and it's really, really dry like this is, you can take it, dump it into a big bowl, and then get a spray bottle and set it on like a fine mist. And you can mist it with just a little bit of water and then kind of squish it up with your hand, mist it again. And it just, you don't want it to be like wet because then, you know, it's going to have a hard time with the glue. It's just enough to bring all the little pieces back together. All right. And I'll knock some of this extra off here in a second. But anyway, this is what we have. I'm going to fix it up a little bit. But we're basically done. Okay? Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Oh, I need to fix that. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, check me out on other forms of social media, the links to all of which will be in the description box down below, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!